I'm here with my friend KK, and she runs the Flora Funga Podcast, and she is the funnest, coolest person I've hung out with at the festival by far, because back to back this whole time she's just been interviewing people and going all over the place and going to every event and recording lots of things, and very, very interactive. So I'm really excited. Let me show you guys the background here. We're in beautiful Telluride, Colorado, and we just attended the Telluride Mushroom Festival. And
45th year even.
45th year, yeah. So KK, we're going to start off by talking about what led you down the path of science. So when you were a kid, growing up, what inspired you to love science?
Yeah, a lot of people kind of grow up doing gardening with maybe family, relatives, so that's where I stemmed from, in a sense. I loved helping my mom plant perennials. We had like annual garden beds that we would do. And then I always was that person going to greenhouses and collecting all of the weird little succulent leaves that you could collect. So I'd love to grow your own little succulents at home.
Finger clones.
Exactly. Yeah. I was like, whoa, you can grow plants just on like these little, succulent leaves. So I really stemmed from that and just got really interested in the plant world. But honestly, it dropped off through middle school, high school. I didn't really know that I was interested in that. I really was more into like anatomy, wanted to be a coroner. I wanted to like do different like forensic things. And then I went to MSU. I went to Minnesota, Mankato State University. Minnesota, I want to make sure I'm saying this right, but the Mankato in Minnesota for college, and I went for biochem, and I don't know why I wanted to do that, but that's where I was cool. I was like, very overarching. I can like be really broad, and one of the prereq classes I had to take was plant science. And I also saw that our university had a greenhouse, and I was like, I'm going to get in there no matter what it takes. So that's really what got me interested.
They're fun.
Yeah. I was like, I loved, going to different tropical domes growing up too, and I would just like love to like go into those different ecosystems. But when I went into my plant class, the professor was just also so amazing. Dr. Ruland, shout out to him. I've had him on my podcast talking about photosynthesis and like the way water works.
Professors are the best.
Yeah, so he's awesome. He did all his research in like Antarctica with like plants and stuff.
The weird ones.
Yeah. So he was just really awesome. I got really interested in that class, and it honestly just clicked. Like everybody else was like, how are you so good at this? Like how do you know like how all these plant stuff works? So I just fell in love with the class, and it was just really easy to me, or just really clicked. I wanted to go through that, and then it was ever since.
So what is your degree in?
So I went to school for plant biology.
Awesome.
So plant biologist is what like my undergrad was in. Cool. But I like to say I had like thirst for mycology, because any project I could do, I always try to include fungi. So
any vascular trees are just associated with fungi.
So we had to do like some presentation on plants, and I always like included like mold, like mold with soybeans and stuff like that. So it was kind of fun because nobody knew plant mushrooms at the time. So my professors really couldn't correct me, because when I was doing projects and presentations, they were like, "That sounds good."
It's an esoteric topic for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so next question.
Next.
is, what are you currently doing on the path of science now?
Currently, I am really focused on the podcast. So my main goals is to monetize Flora Funga Podcast. I love educating people. That's kind of my main thing that I like to do. I would love to do more science-driven things, though, as well. I would love to go back to school for a PhD. Plant pathology is very interesting to me. So I would love to honestly do that.
Plant fungal interactions?
Yeah, so there's some things near Tampa where there's a person working on fungal pathogens on strawberries.
Ooh.
And so kind of figuring out how to like get
Is that a problem there?
Yeah, I would say in the tropical climates, citrus is a big thing. The citrus greening is happening. But yeah, strawberries is another. I actually live in kind of the strawberry capital of Florida, or I don't know if it's the world or the U.S., but definitely in Florida.
Yeah.
A lot of strawberries.
There's a lot of stuff that grows in Florida.
Yeah.
Every time I see you, you're like, we ate this and that. You said peanut butter fruit?
Yeah, peanut butter fruit. You gotta try that.
It's on the list
Once
now.
you pick it, it doesn't last more than 20 minutes. So you can't really get it in the
20
store.
minutes.
Yeah, it's very fragile and really small, you know, with
so
big
immediate
seeds.
enzymatic reactions.
Yeah,
oxidation.
There's some happening.
That's intense. That's so fast.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so where can people find your podcast?
Yeah, so everywhere, florafungapodcast.com. Honestly, my website is so packed with all my stuff. My favorite feature I like about my website is if you go to the website, there's like a little search bar. So if you're like interested in a specific episode, you could just be like plants. You could be like peanut butter. You could be like, you know, whatever topic.
You have a lot of topics.
Yeah, I have over 175 episodes. Ooh. So I've been doing this for 5 years.
They're all very juicy and in-depth. I've watched a ton of them.
There's very, very broad topics. So with, you know, flora, there's all these different categories, and then fungi, all these different categories.
Exactly.
And then, you know, bridging the gap between all of them. So I have a lot of different people on, from like chefs to photography to people that think that they are a mushroom to like scientists to, you know, DNA barcoding. Like I have like a lot of different categories.
It's very diverse.
And that's why I like the podcast, because I like to keep it really broad, because like captures a lot of different audiences. And so I have a friend that's like, oh wow, you covered like psychedelics with spinal injuries. She's like, I've had a spinal injury and I've always nobody really talks about that topic. So like different episodes get people in, and then they enjoy me also, I think, as a person, and then they start watching. And then so I don't feel bad if people just target specific episodes. Like you can't watch them all.
The reason that's really valuable, KK, is because people think the entire industry is just psilocybin mushrooms, right? And so having that diversity, it exposes people like to the entire world of fungi, and that's really important, because that's how people get hooked. They're like constantly discovering new layers and interest, and it bleeds into other topics. Like you can't just study fungi. You have to study it with
it's all
other
connected.
things.
That's
very
like the whole point of Flora Funga Podcast. Same with the lichen presentation that I just did at Telluride this year. Nobody really covers lichen and how it's like all connected with that. So I've had some lichenologists on, and it's just very fascinating.
It's an esoteric field in mycology for sure. Every time I learn about anything lichen, I feel like I understand less about it.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So KK, what was the best thing you did at the entire festival this year?
Dude, this festival was amazing. 45th year, first of all, and it was my first mushroom festival I guess the Telluride Mushroom Festival is like the biggest one in the U.S. Had my first presentation ever by myself, so that's some of the highlights, you know, doing my own presentation on lichen. And then we got
everyone loved it. Outside, they were really excited, and then afterwards, they were bragging about it.
Yeah, people filled in, people were sitting on the ground, people had really good questions, and then we tracked down Paul Stamets. That is the highlight of everything. I had no expectations of actually talking to him, first of all, and then getting an interview.
Didn't, I know. It's nerve-wracking, but
I know.
You went for it.
We captured the moment. So that's probably the highlight.
How did that interview go?
Dude, that interview went so well. So smooth, honestly. It was cool. I got contact with, you know, the handler, the assistant, the person that he was with. So I kind of like made relationships with people, and then we planned out a good time. Captured him after the parade. So the parade was another big highlight. The costumes there this year were crazy.
National Geographic was here photographing people.
So we're probably gonna be in some photos, the newspaper, the magazine. So that was a big highlight. And honestly, I feel like all my interviews like went better than I expected, and I really met so many amazing people. I did not really have that idea of like Louis was there that directed Fantastic Fungi.
We just saw him filming by the side of a lake, just chilling.
Like all the famous mushroom people were here, and we got to talk to all of them.
Let's shout out. Who else did we see? You know everybody's last names.
William Padilla-Brown. We had Fungi Flows.
Mushroom Wonderland. Alan Rockefeller, Mandy Quark. Who else?
I'm trying to remember.
This is everybody.
It's been like such a long week. We've been filming.
Who is your rapping friend?
Oh yeah, that's Fungi Flows.
Fungi Flows.
Parker, yes, if you're into mushrooms and rapping about mushrooms, Fungi Flows. He just pops up at different events and he pulls his speaker and he just freestyles. He broke the world record of longest rap. and it was over 50 hours long.
It's shockingly good.
It was like, his improv is just like amazing. Like, you show up with like whatever you're wearing, and he'll just riff about it.
And he raps about what he sees in person. It was great. And then he rapped with Dirt Riot at the Mush
Dirt Wire,
Ball.
yep.
Yeah,
Dirt Wire.
So,
that's awesome.
Where is the path of science taking you from here? Now that you've interviewed Paul Stamets,
Dude,
where do you go
next?
from here?
Joe Rogan would be cool. Or trying to track down anybody Joe Rogan interviews.
We'll tag him.
But no, I definitely want to travel more for the podcast. That's really my main goal, is to kind of get paid to travel, to educate. I have this whole TV series I want to do called Nerdy Jobs, where I educate the youth on what you can do with your like scientist
How you can apply science?
How can you apply science?
Yes.
You know, anything with conservation, plant biology, mycology. Like, there's so many topics, and I feel like the youth don't really know what you can do, like getting this degree, or like not really having the degree, and like what are your passions, and like what is out there. So I'd love to do something kind of like Dirty Jobs.
Yeah.
So Nerdy Jobs, where you get to so one that I have coming up is interviewing a sea bean farmer. And so I want to tackle, you know, for a weekend, like, what does it entail to be a sea bean farm?
You got a sea bean slide.
Yes, and then he also does, like, garnishing flowers, like the edible flowers. So he grows those too, and so just kind of like to highlight different career paths.
So can people hire you for that? Can people hit you up and offer you sponsorships to help fund the Flora Funga Podcast, travel expenses, not cheap, to travel around and document really cool stuff, but it's worth it to highlight it, and helps businesses get a lot more revenue that way. So you can definitely hit her up. Anything in mycology, anything in botany, she's your girl, and she'll definitely do a really awesome interview of you as well.
Yeah, you told me this term this week called the super connector.
She's a super connector, this one. So if you're looking
Dennis
to do
Walker
business,
was also there. I just want to shout out mycopreneur. If you are a mycopreneur, or you have some sort of entrepreneurship, you can join his incubator. That's every Thursday, and you get to meet all these amazing people in the field. It's just kind of a meet and greet and plug.
Dennis introduced us to power players on this trip that is leading to more opportunities in the future, and that's the main reason to go to festivals like this. You can interact with the community. So with the time we have left on this gondola, what fun projects do you have coming for the rest of the year? What should people look out for?
Yeah, so in a few weeks, September, I'll be at Ohio Mushroom Festival. I'll actually be doing the ending cap ceremony. He was like, right after Alan, I want you to kind of be the closer. And I was like, oh, do you have like something in mind that I should speak on? He's like, no, you can just riff. You're a podcaster. Just like go with the flow. And I was like, okay. So I'm going to do my Nerdy Jobs presentation on like, people that I've interviewed, but like also kind of educating people. I want to make a quiz where you can, answer these questions, and then you get to see like what path of a scientist that you would like to be. So I'd love to make a quiz like that. So that's coming up. I'll also be just attending the Port Angeles Olympic Peninsula Fungi Festival. So that's in Washington. Got some heavy hitters there as well. William Padilla-Brown will be there.
He did some gourmet stuff this time, huh?
Yeah, he's got the truffle talk that I learned, this week. But there's also truffle dog forays.
They found a ton, right?
They found a ton.
Here in Telluride, Colorado, if you want to find truffles, you better be there in 2026.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, there's so much happening in the space, so much new research coming out.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about all that.
Well, thank you, KK, for being the first official interview on Path of the Scientist. It's been a blast hanging out with you. I'm going to post all of her stuff in the description below, and reach out to her for anything. She's super laid back, communicative, and smart and chill. So thanks for joining us.
Yeah, Flora Funga Podcast, any handle, that's my website as well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.